Okay, so today's class is something along the lines of uncaging the cage. So it's about the rib cage, but you know, the general sense of releasing this kind of rib cage area. So last week we did both Tuesday and Thursday, we worked on neutral pelvis and like what's possible when we can establish that neutral pelvis. If you weren't here, do not fret. But if you were here, we can kind of build off this idea of from, you know, a stable, I would say, core low abdominal region, we can actually start to find a lot more mobility in this upper, what I would call the thoracic region of the spine, which is the rib cage area. So for a lot of people, we feel tension in the low back, and it ends up being some restrictions in this rib cage thoracic spine area. So by focusing on moving in this area with a neutral pelvis, we can often open up that kind of quadratus lumborum low back space. So that's the goal today. As always, if I'm cueing something that doesn't feel good for you, you know your body better than me. Pick and choose what's working, what you're responding to. I'm going to share my contact info and the Spotify playlist just one more time. And we'll go ahead and get started. So come to a seat on the mat, and you can find that in any way that's comfortable. For me, I'm going to sit on my knees and kind of more of a hero's pose. If you have a block, you can use that block to sit on underneath the sits bones. But any seat is totally fine. And a lot of our work today in this rib cage region is going to involve being very mentally aware and intentional of what we're doing. So I want you to bring your hands on either side of your pelvis and give a gentle traction down. Not necessarily that you're going to move anything, but just anchoring the pelvis where it is. And as we inhale, imagine your rib cage expanding in all directions, but at the same time, try to pull it out from where this anchored pelvis is. So we inhale, expand that rib cage, and then try to lengthen out low back, front body, but keep the front ribs are going to want to splay forward. Try to avoid that. So it's a really muscularly intense and deep feeling. And exhale, release to a more neutral, normal position. Anchor those hands, inhale, pulling the rib cage out of the pelvis here. You might feel a little bit of release in the spine. And let that go, exhale. And one more here, inhale. Pull that rib cage up, draw the chin towards the throat, kind of moving the whole skull back on the spine. Not letting that fall forward. And then let that go. This time, interlace the hands and the fingers, and then punch these forward. And as you reach the fingers forward, we're pulled back in the upper back. So you're creating a dome, and you can let the chin release towards your throat. I'm going to turn to the side just so you get a visual, but we're really, if you've been in my classes, protracting the scapula here. And the goal is to isolate this to the upper back instead of curving in the lower back. So really concentrated in between the shoulder blades. Let me let somebody in the Zoom room. And then release that, come to vertical again. And we'll do that one more time, interlacing the fingers, reaching them forward, doming in the back, almost like somebody was pulling with a string from in between your shoulder blades. Good, and then release, return to vertical, inhale, and we'll come onto our backs for our low bridge. I'm gonna lock our Zoom room, and we'll get going. So feet are on the floor, knees are up to the ceiling, and we're on our backs. Even here, take a big inhale and imagine that same lengthening of the rib cage out of the pelvis. And then lengthen the tailbone towards the heel, squeeze those glutes, and we'll lift the pelvis for our low bridge. You can bring the hands on either side of the pelvis, same sensation. Imagine, nothing's gonna move because we're kind of more anchored to the floor, but feel this lengthening of the waist and the front body, and especially you want to keep that length in the low back. So just kind of feeling a nice stable lengthening of the torso here. Of course, if your knees feel wonky here, you can walk the feet away from you a bit. We'll press the palms up towards the ceiling, flexing at the wrists. Pull back with the left hand on the right fingers. Opening up the forearm, preparing to get on our hands a bit in class. Not handstanding, but just weight bear. And then switch hands, left palm presses up to the ceiling, pulling back on those fingers. Keep checking in with that rib cage, pulling it out of the pelvis, and then drawing the low abdominals into the back. So it's this like big length through strength moment. And then keep the pelvis up, interlace the fingers just like we did in our seated position. Reach the fingers up to the ceiling. Imagine you could pull that upper back even more into the ground. Keep the chin where it is. It's going to want to jut up. And then let that go, and we'll slowly roll through the spine until the pelvis meets the mat. We'll interlace the fingers behind the head, coming into some core warm-up. Elbows come in towards the ears, reaching up to the ceiling. Inhale here. Exhale, lift head and shoulder blades off the mat. Really feel consolidation in the front body. And then reach these arms, keeping the fingers interlaced, punching them forward, just like we've practiced in so many positions. Bit more demand without the hands to take the weight of the head. Return the hands behind the head, inhale, lower. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Consolidating this front body, punch those interlaced fingers forward, dome that upper back. Keep the chin towards the throat. And then we'll take this in a twist about an inch or two to the left. And then through center, an inch or two to the right. Back to center, hands behind the head, inhale, lower. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Punch those arms forward. Twisting an inch or two to the left. Keeping off the left shoulder blade here. Through center, inch or two to the right. Back to center, hands return, inhale, lower. Now, optional add-on here or kind of layer up. You can bring the knees over the hips, keeping the knees bent. This will put a little bit more demand on the core. You can always keep those feet down. Inhale here, exhale. Head and shoulder blades lift. Punch those fingers forward. They're kind of in between the legs here. And then we'll twist to the left, but you're gonna have to lift the arms over the leg before you punch them out to the left. Extend the right leg long, so it reaches up towards the ceiling. Everything returns to neutral, hands return, inhale, lower. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. Reach those arms forward, doming that upper back. Twist to the right, adjusting the hands as necessary to get over that knee. And then left leg extends. Everything back to neutral, hands return, inhale, lower. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. This time, twist first to the left, and then punch those arms forward, interlacing the fingers. Right leg extends. Option to lower the right leg. Keep that sacrum on the floor. Back to neutral, inhale, lower, hands return. I struggled to speak, I apologize. Inhale, last time here. Exhale, head and shoulder blades lift. As you twist to the right, punching the arms forward, dome that back, left leg extends. Option to lower that left leg, just hovering. Back to neutral, inhale, lower. Oh my goodness, just let the knees fall towards you a bit. Big inhale, extending that rib cage away from the pelvis. Exhale, let it go. That one really got me. And we'll come up and around. Today, moving straight into dolphin. And this is gonna really put some load on the shoulders, so if you are recognizing it's not working for you, you can go ahead and keep the knees down. But listen to what's going on in your body. So we'll lower the forearms. Of course, option to interlace the fingers if that feels better for the shoulders. Push up, just like we've been doming that upper back, kind of puffing it up, pressing the forearms into the floor. And then feel the rib cage lifting up in space. So like the front ribs are pulling into the back. Tuck the toes and we'll lift the pelvis for dolphin. Now keep those knees bent and keep some length in the spine. So I still want you to think about the rib cage pulling out from the pelvis, even though we're upside down now. Draw the chin towards the throat, almost like you're looking at your belly button. And then we'll do some shrugs here. So keeping length in the back of the neck, push the forearms away from the floor. Feel the shoulders lift up to the ears just a touch. Return to neutral. Push, shoulders lift towards the ears. Keep the ribs in. Back to neutral. Again, if this is not working for you, put those knees down. Push. Really drawing, elevating the scapula on the ribs. Release. One more. Push. Oh. And release. You can lower the knees wide. Sit the hips back, child's pose. Walking those hands forward. And even as you breathe here, that same image of an anchored pelvis and like the ability of the elastic rib cage moving out of the pelvis. Take a big exhale, let it go through the mouth. And then we'll shift forward, tuck those toes, and walk the feet forward, bending the knees, hinging at the hips, forward fold here. Now pause, and I'm gonna sound a bit like a broken record today, but again, imagine this strong pelvic placement, and then like the ribs could pull out of that straight in a linear line. And if that means you need to bring fingertips to the floor or the arms to the legs to give you a little bit more lift, totally fine. And then we inhale, rise Tadasana, arms come overhead. Sun Sal 1 here. Exhale, hinge at the hips, coming back to that same position, forward fold. Right foot steps back, lower the knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, rise, arms lift, half kneel. Squeezing this right glute here. Again, feeling lift out of the pelvic region. Hands plant, step the foot back for plank. Draw the cylinder of the rib cage kind of towards your midline, like you could consolidate the whole thing. And then knees lower, lower all the way to the floor. Keep the chest open. Inhale, chest pulls forward, cobra. Exhale, lift into your down dog, keeping weight in the hands. Right foot steps forward, lower the left knee, top of the foot, and inhale, lift, half kneel. Left glute turns on, so we anchor this pelvis, reaching above. And then the hands plant, step the left foot forward, forward fold, exhale. Inhale, lift, Tadasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands plant. Left foot steps back, lower that knee, top of the foot. Inhale, lift, half kneel. This time, exhale, draw the arms to goalposts, so kind of a 90-90 with the elbows, reaching straight out from the shoulders. From here, feel a sense of almost pulling down with the elbows, and then extend up, get extra lift in the rib cage as the arms reach up. Exhale, goalpost. Inhale, extra lift, arms reach. Really squeeze left glute. Exhale, goalpost. Inhale, extend. And hands plant, step back for plank. Front ribs pull into the back body. Lower those knees, lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lift into down dog. Keep weight in the hands. Left foot steps forward, right knee lowers, top of the foot. Inhale, lift, half kneel. Same thing here. Exhale, goalpost. Shoulder blades slide on the ribs. Inhale, arms extend overhead. Get an extra lift through the rib cage, thoracic spine. Exhale, goalpost. Inhale, extend, letting the shoulders come up towards the ears. It's totally natural. Exhale, goalpost. Last time, inhale, extend, find that extra lift. Strong, rooted, neutral pelvis here. And then hands plant, step the right foot in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, Tadasana. Moving on here, right arm comes down by your side. Inhale, lift the left arm, take a side bend over to the right. So we're practicing lateral flexion. As you do this, anchor the front left side of the rib cage by imagining you could pull it into the back body. Inhale, right arm lifts back to center. Exhale, opposite side, left arm lowers, right arm overhead, taking a side bend to the left. So we want to be mindful of our rib cage here because if it starts to pull forward or deviate, we actually cheat ourselves out of a great stretch. Inhale, left arm lifts, right arm lowers, side bend to the right, reaching through that left arm. Inhale, right arm lifts, left arm lowers, reach through the right arm, side bend to the left. Keep that right half of the pelvis exactly where it is, don't let it lift. And then inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, plant the hands. Right foot steps back, we lower the knee. Option to keep the toes tucked. Inhale, lift. Exhale, goalpost those arms. We're gonna twist this time. So inhale at center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, twist to the right. Exhale, twist left. And inhale, right. So keep moving with this motion. Neutral, strong, anchored pelvis, but really follow your breath. Exhaling left, inhaling as we open to the right. Next time you come left, pause there. Extend the right arm down to the floor. Left arm reaches up to the ceiling. We're in a twisted low lunge. Now keep an anchor in the left hip crease. I don't want that half of the pelvis to lift. And we'll make this a bit more fluid. Left hand plants on the outside of the left leg, step back, three-legged down dog, left leg lifts. Weight in the hands. And then exhale, left foot steps forward, lower the right knee, open it up again, twisted low lunge. So really, these first few we'll do slow. Left hand plants, left leg lifts, three-legged down dog. Keep that neutral pelvis, lift in the ribs. Exhale, left foot steps forward, right knee lowers, twisted low lunge. And now I'll give you some liberty. Take it as fast or as slow as you'd like. Moving between three-legged down dog and this twisted low lunge. But as you meet twisted low lunge, really try to find that neutral pelvis where the left half of the pelvis is not lifting up. And then you'll feel an amazing stretch in that low back. A few more here. Drawing still, even as you twist the front of the rib cage into the back. And then next time you're in a twisted low lunge, anchor into the right leg, untuck the right toes, left foot slides back, modified side plank. Option to lift that leg here, or keep it down, whatever feels good. Inhale, exhale, thread the left arm under the right. So you get a little bit of a twist through the ribs, but don't let the pelvis move. And inhale, rise. Exhale, thread it under, twist. Really pressing into the right hand to get stable. Left arm lifts. Exhale, twist. Left arm lifts. Two more. Twist it. And maybe you don't get anywhere near the right arm, like mine's kind of far. That's okay. It's not about an arbitrary position last time. It's about the sensation. We'll step the left foot back towards our low lunge, tuck the right toes, open up goddess. So we open up the right hip joint here. Hands come in goalposts, but then flatten them on a table and make fists. Exhale, twist to the left, punch this right arm across here, kind of on a shallow diagonal, and back to neutral. Arms back to this flat goalpost. Twist to the right, exhale, punch it out with the left arm, back to neutral, inhale, exhale, twist, punch on the right, back to neutral, inhale, to the left, exhale, punch. Back to neutral, twisting left, right arm punches. Feel those obliques really working for you here. Back to neutral, exhale, twist right, tailbone and pelvis is exactly as it is. Back to neutral, turn to the back of the mat, we're heading to dolphin. So you can go through the knees or lower straight to the forearms, coming into dolphin. Feel that sensation of the lift of the rib cage, pressing the forearms into the floor. Now a little bit of a challenge here, it's optional. You can walk your right foot out as wide as the mat, left foot out as wide, right foot back to neutral, left foot back to neutral. Left out, left in, right in. And I want your goal here, keep going if you'd like, to be, imagine like the torso didn't have to move at all. It was all coming from the hip joint. Everything else can stay neutral. Pause in center when you get back. And then walk the feet out behind you, coming to forearm plank just briefly. Pull the ribs, the front ribs into the back body, shoulders on the back. And then lower all the way to the floor. Let the forehead lower, but keep the hands where they are. And then inhale, we'll come into like a Sphinx pose. So up on the forearms, pulling back with the hands, anchoring the pubic bone by turning on the glutes, and then imagine you could pull the ribs forward. So not flaring them forward, but like, again, a linear pull. Woo. We'll lift slightly the right elbow, slide the left arm under the right. Coming onto the left side, draw the knees in towards you, and then we'll make big circles with this right arm along the floor. So we reach overhead, out to the right, down by the hips, and back to the left hand. We've done this a lot in the reset previously, but this just gives you a nice break after all that shoulder work. And then next time the right arm's coming around, bring it back to the mat, undo what we've just done, coming back towards a Sphinxy pose. Tuck the toes, lift into your down dog. Take a big breath in. Feel the weight in the hands radiating up to the shoulder blades, and like the rib cage can kind of catch that force coming up from the ground. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees and walk or hop towards your hands. Inhale, lift Tadasana. We're at the back of the mat, starting the other side. Left hand lowers, right arm reaches over, side bend to the left. Anchor that right half of the pelvis. Inhale, vertical. Exhale, right hand lowers, left arm over, side bend to the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left hand lowers, side bend. Inhale, lift. Try to keep the chin pulling in towards the throat. Right hand lowers, exhale, side bend. Oh, it already feels a bit more open. I hope it does for you as well. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands plant. Left foot steps back, lower the knee. Option to keep the toes tucked, and inhale, rise. So first things first, squeeze that left glute. We've got a nice neutral pelvis. Exhale, arms come to goalpost. Inhale at center here. Feel the neck on the spine. You might need to pull the skull back in space. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, twist to the left. So we're only twisting from the ribs here. And by keeping the arms in goalposts, we kind of restrict our ability to cheat by trying to reach with the arms, because we often will kind of exceed our functional range by using our extremities. So this is kind of a getting our brain in order, if you will. Really using the core as the motor. Inhale to the left. Last time, exhale, twist right. Coming into twisted low lunge. Left hand lands, right arm reaches up to the ceiling. Anchor in the right half of the pelvis. Keep that left glute on. And we move a bit. Right hand plants, lift into your three-legged down dog, right leg lifts. Exhale, step right foot forward, left knee lowers. Inhale, lift, twisted low lunge. Hand plants, three-legged down dog. Exhale, step it forward, left knee lowers, twisted low lunge. Hand plants, three-legged down dog. Keep those ribs in your down dog. Right foot steps forward, knee lowers. Inhale, lift. Last time here, three-legged down dog. Right foot steps, lower the knee, open for your twisted low lunge. And we're heading to modified side plank. Untuck the left toes, slide that right foot back. Option to lift the leg. Keeping that tailbone reaching towards the right heel. Inhale. Exhale, reaching to thread. Right arm comes under the torso. Inhale, return. Exhale, right arm under. If you sense you're moving that pelvis, especially the right half, you pull it back. Don't do so much. Exhale. So we really are moving again in the thoracic spine here. Last time, exhale. Open it up to the ceiling, inhale. And step the right foot forward, coming to goddess. Left toes tuck, opening in the left hip. Goalpost those arms and flatten it out. Little faster this time, exhale, twist right, punch the left arm. Sometimes I really get lost with the words. Back to neutral, inhale. Exhale, twist and punch. Back to neutral. Exhale, twist and punch. Only go as far as you can without changing the pelvis. Back to neutral, twist and punch. Back to neutral, twist and punch. I really feel this in my external rotators. Twisting to the left of my hips. Back to neutral, last time, twist to the right. Back to neutral, last time to the left. Back to neutral, turning to the front of the mat, heading to dolphin. You can lower through the knees or straight onto the forearms. Lifting that pelvis, pushing the forearms into the floor, draw that chin towards the throat. Option to walk it out here, left leg out, right foot out, left leg in, right foot in. Right leg out, left foot out, right leg in, left leg in. One more each side, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left. Pause in the middle, pull the front ribs into the back body, and then walk the legs backwards, coming to forward. Forearm plank. Squeeze your glutes, let them help you, and lower to the floor. Let the forearm go. Let's take a big inhale and exhale here. Big inhale. Exhale, let some noise out. Frustration, whatever you're feeling. And then coming to Sphinx, rising on the forearms. Anchor the pubic bone first, so really turn the glutes on. Feel neck in line with the spine. And then pull back on the forearms, pulling up with the rib cage. So not pulling the front forward, like bending in half in the back, but really trying to lift actively. We'll just lift slightly with the left elbow, right arm threads under, coming onto the right side, those knees come towards you. Left arm reaches overhead on the floor, out to the left, coming into our nice circles here. back to the right hand, left arm up, out to the left, down by the hip, meeting the right hand. Just find this opening through the rib cage in your own time. This is my absolute favorite gentle mobility exercise. And then next time the left hand comes towards the floor, we turn back onto the belly. Hands come under the shoulders, toes tuck, lift into your down dog. Big inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees. And let's walk it forward. Coming to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift. Some sun cells here, get some more heat. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands plant, length through that spine. Step back to plank. Lower the knees and lower all the way to the floor. Inhale, pull the hands back. Feel that rib cage pulling out of the pelvis here, cobra. Exhale, lift into down dog, keeping weight in the hands. Inhale, rise on the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, walk or hop forward. It was too easy. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands plant. Step it back for plank. Lower through the knees or halfway. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Turn those glutes on. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, rise on the toes. Feel the ribs lift. Exhale, bend the knees, walk or hop forward. Inhale, lift. One more time here, exhale, hinge at the hips, hands plant. Step it back for plank. Knees lower or lower for your chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. And we pause here, big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Shake the head side to side, kind of like a no. And then give it a yes. Again, feel the energy coursing through the palms, all the way up the arms, into this lifted rib cage. Left leg lifts, three-legged down dog. Exhale, left foot steps forward. Coming to warrior one, we ground the right heel and rise. And let's pause to find our warrior one for a second. So we need to have our legs on two different planes so they're in line with the hip joint. We want to be able to have a lengthened tailbone, so that might mean a slight bend in the right knee, and that's okay. Arms lift overhead, inhale. Feel shoulders lifting up towards the ears, lift in the rib cage. Then exhale, hands come behind the sacrum, interlace, but bend the elbows. Get a little bit of a chest opener here. Really anchor the right glute. Inhale. Exhale, hinge it forward, humble warrior. So we want to keep the pelvis totally even, exactly where it is. And just bend as far forward as we can without dipping in the pelvis or changing the alignment of the spine. Really feeling that crease in the left hip. It's doing a lot of work for us here. And then reach the arms up on shallow diagonal, so maybe to either corner of your mat. And pull the front body into the back body, including chin towards the throat. Feeling all that length there. Shifting forward, coming towards standing L or standing split. Hands plant, right leg lifts. All that weight is in a nice bent left knee. We're gonna make this a little bit of a series. So toes stay facing the floor on that right leg, and the right leg moves out to the right in abduction. Right leg returns to neutral. Lower that foot, left leg sweeps back, three-legged down dog. Bend the left knee, open up the hip, external rotation. And this is our series. Exhale, left foot steps forward, keep the hands on the mat. Shift for your standing L. Right leg out to the right, abduction. Back to neutral, right foot down, left leg lifts, three-legged down dog. Bend the knee, open up the hip, external rotation. Left foot steps forward, standing L. Right leg out to the right, back to neutral, toes lower. Left leg lifts, bend the knee, externally rotate. One more time. Left foot steps down, right leg lifts. out to the right, back to neutral, toes lower, left leg lifts, bend that knee, pick up the ribs as you externally rotate. And then come back to neutral, left foot steps forward, opening warrior two, ground that right heel, open to the right side of your mat, glorious vertical. Inhale here. Exhale, we'll reverse, but bring the right hand to the right half of the pelvis, left arm over the ear, and use this as an anchor for the pelvis, a reminder to lift through the side body. Inhale. Exhale, same thing, warrior variation. Left hand to the left half of the pelvis and pull up through the right half of the rib cage. Inhale. Exhale, reverse. Using that pelvis as an anchor. Inhale. Exhale, warrior variation. Inhale, rise. We'll turn to the back of the mat. Both toes face the back. Lower that left knee gently. Hands come behind the head. Elbows out, and we lean the head back. Now lift the chest up in space, coming into a tiny, tiny back extension. Turn the left glute on. Feel that lengthening there. Keeping the front ribs as much as possible contained. So there's a difference between flaring for an arch and really lifting with control. Letting that go, turning back to the left, side lunge. Both sets of toes turn. We bend into the right knee and hip. Now you can have your hands on your hips and be more vertical. Other option today is to bring the hands somewhere on the legs and use them to kind of move the rib cage side to side. So as we bend into the left leg, we press into the right hand, let those ribs move over to the left a bit. And over to the right, we'll press into the left hand. I don't know if I might have just messed up my right and left, but I hope you understand. I'll say it one more time. Bend left, push into the right hand, ribs move to the left. Bend into the right, push into the left hand, and those ribs move slightly to the right. It's not a big thing, but you'll feel it. Walking everything back to the front of the mat, bend into the left leg, keep the right knee lifted. Both hands on the inside of the left leg. Inhale. Exhale, push the floor away. Dome that upper back here. Inhale, release. Exhale, push and dome. Inhale, release. One last time. Exhale, push and dome. Inhale, release. And walk the left hand to the outside of the left leg. Step the left foot back, down dog. Checking in again here, pressing through the palms, feeling that strength in the torso. Right leg lifts, three-legged down dog. Exhale, step the foot forward, heading to warrior one. Legs on opposite track, or not opposite, but parallel tracks here. Check in with the pelvis. You can use your hands to understand if you're dipping forward or if one side is lifted or lowered. You can kind of play around with that. Remembering you can always bend the knees. It's not about the extremities. It's about this more core proximal area. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, hands interlace at the sacrum. Bend those elbows. Keeping the ribs contained. Ooh, I just couldn't breathe, sorry. Keep the ribs contained even as the chest is opening. Big inhale here. Get that skull on the back, on the spine, I mean. And exhale, keep the pelvis as is. Hinge at the hips, deepening the right hip crease. Coming into our humble warrior. Trying not to change anything in the spine, but really just keep this contained neutral pelvis. Length through the back of the head, the top of the head. And then exhale, arms on diagonals, maybe the corners of your mat. And we pull the front body into the back body. You'll feel extra stretch in this back chain. Shifting towards standing L, weight into the right leg, hands come under the shoulders and the left leg lifts. You can always be up on the fingertips. using blocks. And we've got our series to go here. Left toes stay facing the floor as we bring the left leg out to the left. Back to neutral, left foot lowers, sweep the right leg back, three-legged down dog. Bend that knee, open up the hip, keep the pelvis neutral. Back to center, right foot steps forward, standing L. Left leg out to the left, back to neutral, lower those toes. Right leg lifts, bend the knee, open up the right hip. Pull the ribs up as you step the right foot forward. Left leg lifts, out to the left, back to neutral, toes lower, right leg lifts, bend the knee, open up the hips. Last time here, right foot steps forward, standing L, feeling ribs pull out of the pelvis, left leg out to the left, back to neutral, right leg sweeps back, three-legged down dog, bend the knee, open up the hip. Back to neutral and step the right foot forward, warrior two. Ground the left heel, open up to the left side of the mat. Big inhale here. Exhale, reverse your warrior, left hand on the pelvis. Inhale through center. Exhale, warrior variation, right hand this time. Inhale, center. Exhale, reverse. Inhale through center. Exhale, warrior variation, feeling that lift through the torso. Inhale, turning to the back of the mat, both sets of toes turn. Lower that right knee gently, low lunge. Hands behind the head, lean the skull back, and then lift the chest for our tiny extension here. But this is indeed a back bend. Anchoring the right glute. And then lifting up through this front line of the right hip. Inhale here. Exhale, turning to the right, side lunges. Remembering your options, you can stay lifted with the torso and the spine, or you can use your arms to kind of gently encourage the ribs to either side. But keep the front body in as you do that. It's easy to let it dip. We'll all turn to the front of the mat. Both sets of toes turn. Keep the left knee lifted. Left half of the pelvis is lifted. Inhale. Exhale, push the floor away. Dome that upper back. Let the chin go. Inhale, release. Exhale, push and dome. You can always lower the left knee if you need. Inhale, release. Should have said that on the other side. Exhale, push and dome. Inhale, release. And then walk the hands forward and just scoot the left foot forward. Bent knee forward fold. Let the head go. And then inhale, lift, Tadasana. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Close those eyes. Big inhale. Exhale, release. Okay, you know what's coming. We're putting those sequences together. I don't think anything is particularly new. I just will offer another layer. I'm just making sure I don't forget any of them. There's one new thing, but I think it will be fine within the sequence to kind of break it down. So we'll start at the top of the mat. Take a moment, maybe take some little twists and feel if things a little bit more open. Sense if your low back feels better, or I don't know, just more space in the rib cage. Inhale, arms lift overhead. Exhale, right arm reaches down on your side, left arm over to the right, so we're side bending. Inhale, back to center. Now exhale, swing and release. So we swing, hinging back at the hips, let the arms go, and inhale, rise to vertical. Left hand reaches down by the side, bending over to the left, right arm over the ear. Inhale to center, exhale, swing, release, kind of like moving through a chair. Right arm down, side bend to the right. Inhale, arms extend, exhale, swing it. Left arm down, right arm over to the left. Inhale, extend. Last time, swing it, pause at the bottom, hands plant. Right foot steps back, lower the knee. You can keep the toes tucked if that feels okay, and lift. Now this time we'll get a little bit more fluid. Left arm reaches forward, down and around to swing, and we alternate swinging. So earlier we did a really controlled twist with the goalpost. Now we can kind of be more fluid with it. You can kind of let the elbows bend like I'm doing. This felt like a fun callback to ballet for me. And then next time your right arm's forward, we'll pause there. Right hand reaches to the mat. Option to keep the knee down or straighten the right leg. Left hand plants, sweep left leg back, three-legged down dog, and lower to down dog. This time, right foot steps forward. Either lower the left knee or keep it lifted, opening for a twist. Right hand plants, right leg sweeps back, step it down, down dog. Left foot steps forward. Option to lower the right knee, open for your twist, hand plants. This time step back straight to down dog. Right foot steps forward, open for your twist, keep that neutral pelvis. Hand plants, step it back. Left foot steps forward, open for your twisted crescent here. Weight into the right hand, coming to side plank. You can keep this modified by lowering the right knee, or come out to the outer edge of the right foot and stack the left on top. Now here, inhale, we'll reach the left arm over the ear. Maybe press up if you're in side plank through the hips. And exhale, return that left arm. Inhale, left arm over the ear. Exhale, return. Inhale, reach. Extra length in the side. Arm back to the ceiling. Last time, left arm over the ear. Back to neutral. Left foot steps forward, open up for your goddess. Over to the right side of the mat. Little different this time. We'll reach the left arm forward, pull the right elbow back, and switch. So just picking one side to inhale, one side to exhale, and kind of feeling the swing of this, the motion, the momentum. And making sure that that skull stays on the spine. Meaning don't let the head fall forward. That wasn't very clear. Next time, left arms forward, pause, interlace the right hand and dome the upper back. Letting some extra space in there. Inhale, arms lift overhead. Turn to the back of the mat. Coming to dolphin. You've got your options here. We can step one leg out and then the other, and then back to center. Or you can lift the right leg and abduct, keeping those toes down, out to the right, and back to neutral. Yogi's choice. Of course, you can do either of those on the knees. Well, the step out's not as possible, but the abduction is. Coming from dolphin here, we'll press into the palms. Everybody step the right foot forward. Turn to the front of the mat for our warrior one. Bend into that left leg. Adjust the right leg as needed. Arms overhead, inhale. Exhale, hands at the sacrum. Bend those elbows. And we shift forward for our humble warrior. Keeping the neutral pelvis, lengthen the spine. This might feel more open now. Arms extend on the diagonals, forward diagonals towards the corner of your mat. And this bit is different. So we'll press off the right toes, shifting into the left leg, keep it bent. And that right leg lifts as if we were in a standing split. But we'll try a reverse half moon. So you peel open the left half of the rib cage, coming into a twist here, without letting it get into the pelvis. So take your time. And if that doesn't feel good, you can stick with a standing L by keeping the hands on the floor. Breathing here. On your next exhale, lower the right toes, open to the right, warrior two. Regular this time, exhale, reverse it. Inhale through center, warrior variation. Inhale, exhale, reverse. Inhale through center, warrior variation. We'll windmill to the back of the mat, both sets of toes turn, lower that left knee, low lunge. And this time, you can bring the hands behind the head again, or bring the right hand to the sacrum, to the back of the pelvis, left arm alongside the ear, reaching up. Yogi's choice. Inhale here, anchor with that left glute. Exhale, turning to the left for our side lunges. Moving side to side, take it a little bit more fluidly this time. Listening to what feels good. And then we'll turn all the way to the opposite side of the mat for a seated twist. So we turn both sets of toes to the left, bring that right knee behind the left heel, and we sit on the pelvis. Option to extend the right leg in front of you. Taking a moment here, and we roll the shoulders. Feeling if it's a bit juicier or more supple, more hydrated. Let's come to neutral, take a big inhale, lifting the rib cage out of the pelvis. Exhale through the mouth. And we'll turn back to the front of the mat, stepping weight into that left leg, and then stepping the right foot forward. Inhale, lift, one more side here. Exhale, left hand lowers, side bend to the left. Inhale through center, and we swing, sitting back in the hips, letting that torso respond. Right arm lowers, side bend to the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, swing. Left hand lowers, right arm over, side bend to the left. Inhale and swing. Last time, right arm down by your side, bending to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, swing, pause at the bottom, hands plant in front of the feet, left foot steps back, lower that knee. Option to keep the toes tucked. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, right arm swings down and around. We start our more fluid swings here, side to side. Feeling what's more possible now that we've kind of worked from a really intentional, I want to say restricted, but not in a bad way, place, and now we can free it up. Pause with that left arm forward, left hand comes down to the mat. Option here, keep the knee down or lift the left knee. Right hand plants, step back, down dog. Left foot steps forward, opening for a twist. Option to lower right knee. Hand plants, step it back, down dog. Right leg steps forward, open for your twist. Right hand plants, step back for down dog. Left foot steps forward, open for a twist. Hand plants, down dog. Last time, right foot steps forward. Open for your twist, weight into the right hand. Inhale here, coming towards modified side plank or full side plank, yogi's choice. Inhale, right arm over the ear. Exhale, return. Inhale, reach that right arm forward. Return. Two more. Right arm over the ear. Keep anchoring the tailbone, back to neutral. Last time, right arm forward. Back to neutral, right foot steps forward, open for your goddess. And left elbow pulls back, right arm forward. And then we switch. So one elbow back, one elbow arm forward. Getting a bit of a twist through the rib cage. Keeping an anchored pelvis. And then catch the right hand with the left, dome the upper back. Let the chin go. Oops. Inhale, lift, lengthen the spine, turn to the back of the mat, coming to dolphin. Feel free to go through the knees to get there. Lowering those forearms. You can walk the feet out from center or lift the left leg. Abduct that leg out to the left. On your knees is also an option, always. Continuing to press through the forearms here, even at the end. And then pause in neutral, press into the palms, lift the elbows, left foot steps forward, turn to the front of the mat. Warrior one, bend into that right leg. Find your neutral. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, hands at the sacrum, feeling lift through the spine. And to humble warrior, shifting this torso forward, hinging at the hips. Ultimately extending the arms up on the diagonals and shifting towards that reverse bent knee half moon. Shifting into the right leg, left leg lifts to a neutral position. That left hand comes somewhere towards under the shoulder. And we open up, peeling open the right half of the rib cage. You can have the right hand on the sacrum or maybe out to the side somewhere. Drawing the low abdominals up into the back. And then exhale, left toes lower, open up, warrior two. Inhale and center. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Right arm over the ear. Inhale. Exhale, warrior variation. Right forearm to thigh. Inhale through center. Exhale, reverse. Inhale through center. And warrior variation. Turning to the back of the mat, gently lower that right knee, coming to low lunge. Hands behind the head, lifting that chest up. Option to bring the hand behind the sacrum, right arm up to the ceiling. Big breath in. And exhale, turning to the right for side lunges. Moving the femurs back in the hip socket. Feeling some more openness in the hips. And then turning for seated twists, turning all the way to the right, around to the other side of the mat, and that left knee lowers. Sitting back onto the hips. And we roll the shoulders. Starting to wind down in these last few moments. Gently, we'll just unwind our legs here so you can straighten the left leg and then step the right leg away from it. Turning back to our starting position with those knees up towards the ceiling, feet on the mat. And bring the hands to the top of the thigh, kind of where the hip joint is. And gently give some length, pressing through the hands. Feeling the abdominals, the core muscles pull into the back. Getting extra length through the side body. And exhale, let that go. Coming towards a comfortable shavasana for you. Maybe walking the feet wide, letting the knees fall in. Or extending one leg and then the other. Taking a big breath for length. And exhale. Let yourself sink into a moment of quiet. like to stay in your Shavasana, go ahead and mute your computer and stay as long as you'd like. If you're ready to move, take a big inhale, bring those hands to either side of the pelvis. Just create that kind of false anchor from which you can lift the ribs and exhale. Inhale, this time reach the arms over the head, imagining the anchor of the pelvis, lengthening through the side body, maybe taking fuller breaths now. And exhale, release. Take your time to make your way to a comfortable seat. Just sensing anything that's different. Maybe you feel taller or some released tension, released anxiety. We'll close our practice today, taking one collective breath. Inhaling through the nose, pausing at the top, and exhale, gently release through the mouth. Bringing the hands together at heart center. Feeling some physical change and maybe some internal change, internal peace or calm, quieting. Remembering that we can always return to the mat for this physical practice that then becomes also a mental, spiritual practice. Thank you so much for your presence, your energy. I hope you head into a wonderful rest of the week. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. As always, I will stay here. I'm happy to answer any questions. You also have my contact info, so feel free to reach out to me there. Otherwise, have a wonderful week. I'm here again on Thursday, so thanks for being here.